I don't know about you, but ever since the first time that I beat Ocarina of Time way back when, that was so long ago, man, I always wondered where in the world Navi went at the end of Ocarina of Time. There really isn't that much data to go off of, honestly, which is awesome because that's actually where theories can really shine through. In today's video, let's go over some fan theories about what exactly happened to Navi at the end of Ocarina of Time. Hello and welcome to Zelda Theory. D-Rock here, and this channel is your best source for any and all things Zelda, so if at any time today you find value in our conversation, do me a huge favor and be sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel, and be sure to turn on all notifications for weekly Zelda content. You already know your time means the absolute world to me, so thank you so much for your support. Truly appreciate you being here. Now, as we alluded to at the beginning of this video, one of the biggest questions that has interested me and many of you of the Legend of Zelda series is what exactly happened to Link's fairy companion, Navi, from Ocarina of Time. Navi leaves Link's side at the end of the game, spurring Link to try and track his companion down. However, after this moment, Navi is never heard from or seen again in the Zelda game, leaving you and me to speculate for years about what exactly happened to our friend. A lot of the theories that I've seen range from pretty straightforward to downright heartbreaking, and we all continue to dig through the series timeline and lore, and quite honestly some non-canon material for even the slightest sign of the tiny blue fairy, Navi. Now, with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump into three main fan theories that I thought were pretty cool. Now, one of the theories that I found that was pretty cool and could honestly be something that potentially happened is that Navi just returned to Kokiri Forest. Now, this theory is pretty straightforward and probably the most obvious one that we're going to cover, dealing with some pretty clear rules for fairy guides in Zelda realm. Link lives with the Kokiri at the start of Ocarina of Time, having been adopted by them. We all know the story of Ocarina of Time, at least I hope. However, he is not considered to be a true Kokiri by the other Kokiri. The Kokiri are assigned permanent fairy guides to assist them throughout their lives, but Link was the only temporarily assigned Navi to aid him on his quest to stop Ganondorf. Now, once Link completed his quest, as stated in Majora's Mask's ending, Navi would have fulfilled her assignment and may have been required to part ways with Link. Now, this theory kind of states that Navi simply returned to Kokiri Village and was assigned a new mission, though there are a few holes in this relatively simple explanation. The main counter for this idea is that if Link was successful in his initial mission in Majora's Mask and found Navi, it'd make way more sense if the player was shown the reunion rather than having it be implied by post-game dialogue. Now, a much darker theory that I've seen suggests that Navi became the spider-like boss from Twilight Princess who was fought in the Temple of Time before Link can find the iconic Master Sword. This may seem like a reach, but there's actually plenty of evidence to back this up. Armagoma is based on the eye spider enemies called Gomas, which appear in Ocarina of Time inside the Great Deku Tree. As for how Navi became Armagoma, that connects to the fact that Armagoma drops a mirror shard on death. Mirror shards introduced in Twilight Princess are pieces of the Mirror of Twilight that can cause misfortune for anyone who looks into them, including turning them into horrific beasts. This theory suggests that Navi may have gazed into the mirror shard and turned into Armagoma. One of the bigger questions surrounding this theory, however, is how Navi was around for long enough to be present during the events of Twilight Princess. Twilight Princess takes place during the child timeline directly after Majora's Mask. However, Majora's Mask's ending makes it clear that Link was still seeking out Navi after being separated from her. Navi could have traveled to the Temple of Time and waited for Link there, only for the two to never reunite. Now, this theory is, again, pretty far out there, and it's very unlikely to be what happened to Navi, but it's pretty cool nonetheless. You can't deny that. All right, lastly, the theory that I found that was pretty cool is that Navi and Link were just meant to reunite. This theory speculates that Ocarina of Time was actually meant to be the start of a trilogy of games that would follow a connected storyline, suggesting that Navi and Link would have fully reunited in a third title. There's a fair amount of evidence that this may have been the original plan. The first piece of evidence comes from Twilight Princess's boss fight against the hero Spirit, which is heavily implied to be the Hero of Time version of Link from Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. Take note here that the hero Spirit knows techniques that the Hero of Time never actually is shown to perform. even after becoming an adult. This leads to speculation that the Hero of Time was either meant to have a third game, or that he had a third adventure that was actually never explored in the games. There's also a non-canonical, officially licensed book that explores this very concept called Link and the Portal of Doom. This describes an adventure that takes place after the events of Ocarina of Time, where Link and Navi must close a portal that threatens to engulf all of Hyrule. This book also shows that there may have been some consideration for a third adventure in the Hero of Time era of The Legend of Zelda. Now let's be honest, these theories were super dope. Again, these are not my theories. This is part of the fan theory series that I've created on my channel, so definitely check that out. Now I'm pretty sure that we can all agree that Navi's departure was kept fairly open-ended and could have been meant to simply signify the end of Link's adventure. However, during a time where Nintendo has gotten much more clever over the storytelling of the Zelda games, it's very possible that Navi could come back later in a later Zelda entry. Think about that for a second. Until that point, unfortunately, speculation over Navi's fate will continue to captivate all of us in the Zelda crew. Now for more Zelda awesomeness, be sure to stick around and click on either of the videos here coming up in a few to dive into more Zelda content that I have created on the channel. And if you're new, be sure to subscribe, turn on all notifications, and remember, it's dangerous to go alone. Click on another Zelda video right now. I'll talk to you over there.